Oops, what did I do? Mm, was I not recording all along? Give me a sec. Okay, no, it's all systems go. So, like I said, we're still on the basics of the basics so far. And so we did a checklist yesterday. Excuse me. And I think there's a couple of things that I want us to just go over in terms of the trading platform. But before we do that, let's talk about currency pairs, right? Uh, currency pairs, currency pairs. Which currency pairs do you normally trade? What currency pairs are we trading out there? What do you find yourself mostly trading?
Yeah, mine is more of GBP USD. I think only, not even more, only.
GBP USD.
Yeah, that's what I focused on. But
Uh-huh.
recent, I've been trying
And
to follow USD JPY and GBP JPY, but I've not really traded them. I'm just following their movement and just trying to understand how they move.
yeah, yeah. Okay. GBP USD. Let me get my pen. And why GBP USD? Why are you finding yourself spending more time there? Is it mainly price action that you've been studying and you seem to track it quite
Yeah,
well?
it's mainly price action, and I found out that GPUSD most times is trendy. Like I could easily
Yeah.
spot trade patterns on GPUSD compared to any other pairs. So
Mhm.
that is just why I even down from the monthly all the way down to the 4 hours and the 1 hour, I could spot
Mhm.
the trend easily on GPUSD. So that's
Yeah.
basically why I'm more focused on it, yeah, compared to other
Okay.
pairs.
No, that's a solid answer. I'll take that. I used to also just trade GBP USD. I think for the better part of probably I can't remember. Is it 2017? I think yeah. Most of my trades were GBP USD, but I remember we had that Brexit, you know, thing going on that really was moving that pair quite a lot. So that's mainly for me the reason why I found that I enjoyed a much more liquidity and volatility out of that pair back then. And yes, it still makes up part of my portfolio. I still trade it definitely to PUSD. What other pairs are we trading out there or that we should be trading?
I'm doing gold, mostly gold, gold USD.
Gold, XAU, USD,
Mm.
XAU, USD. Why gold?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I
Mm.
find it because it's affected
Yeah.
largely by the fundamentals in US. It looks like it's a run to commodity.
Mm,
So
mm,
when
mm.
US dollar is struggling, it seems to be the most stable commodity that people run to. It's a run to kind of. So I don't
Mm.
know. I do find it hard to focus on many currencies at once. I would
Yeah.
occasionally look at maybe US what Dow Jones
Okay.
occasionally, but I find it hard to change between one currency to the other. I find it a lot easier to focus on one or
Yeah.
two at a time. Yeah.
No, makes sense. Makes sense. Right? Makes sense. Um, any others? Any others? Excuse me. Ooh. Let me just do this. Give me a sec. There we go. Much clearer. All right. Currency pairs. Let's start with what we call major pairs. Just want to make sure that we all understand what major pairs are and why they're called major pairs. Um, let's name the major pairs. I think let me type them out here. Feel free to just call them out. Major pairs. These are the basics. We're back in preschool, so these ones should be easy for you to understand. Let me just. Yeah, please go ahead. Come. Today. You don't know major pairs?
I thought you were on a call or something.
GU?
No. I never take calls unless it's
Okay.
urgent.
Okay, I had the
That's
phone
some
ringing,
serious,
so I thought you were on
that
a
would be
call.
some serious disrespect without telling me that I'm taking a call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, major pairs. I think GPUSD, Euro USD.
Yes.
GBP. Hold on.
GU.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
just say GU, but let me put it in full
EU.
so that we
Okay,
all
yeah, everybody
understand.
gets
Maybe
it.
some. Yeah. I had Euro USD.
Yeah, USD JPY.
USD JPY.
Then
GBP JPY?
GBP
No.
JPY. Nope.
no,
That
that's
would
not
be a
needed.
minor pair.
Yeah, I think USD card.
USD CAD.
Then
USD CFF, CHF.
USD CHF. Who else? AUD, USD.
exactly AUD USD. Yeah, I was trying to remember that. Yes.
1 second for me. Sorry, guys. AUD, USD CHF, USD CAD.
I think those are the six, right? Those are the six majors.
Right. Okay. I think we've got them. What's the common denominator here?
USD.
Indeed. Right. Common denominators, the USD. Why do we like to trade these?
Reserve currency?
I beg your pardon?
Reserve currency?
The reserve currency, yes, sure, is the USD, but that's
I
not quite why we
think
like
because
to
they are more
trade.
volatile.
More volatility.
Yeah, that's it.
Volatility. More liquidity, if I can put it that way. These tend to,
Yeah, more liquidity.
we enjoy much more action out of these. They're not slow moving, right? So a lot of money moves between these, excuse me, these economies, right? And I would say, let's say, lastly, it would be the cost of cost of trade. In other words, spread. We all know what spread is.
Yeah, Roder.
We're on the same page, right? Okay, so definitely these are the ones that we are interested in. And then minor pairs, of course, we do trade minor pairs. So I had GBP, JPY. What am I doing? GBP, JPY. You would have, say, your CAD, JPY,
Euro GBP.
Euro GBP. I'm trying to avoid that one. Euro GBP. Hardly traded.
Yeah, it's a very sluggishly moving pair.
I'll tell you why. What did I do now with that? That pair has been ranging for the last, I think, 7 years.
Yeah, it has been ranging. I call it a master of ranging.
Yeah, so I just don't. Yeah, I don't play there. I don't play there as often as I used to. But we get the point, right? So these are currency pairs that these are major economies which exclude, let's put it this way, the dollar. So we've got GBP, JPY, CAD, JPY, Euro GBP, AUD, CAD, Euro CAD. You get it, right? Those would be our minor pairs. Exotic pairs, USD ZAR, USD Naira. You get it, right? Yeah, those. Yeah, it's. I don't think many retail traders trade them.
Another
Occasionally, I
ball
will
game
trade
entirely.
USD.
Sometimes I wonder who trade them though.
Yeah,
USD
occasionally
Naira.
I would trade USD ZAR. I know some traders who trade that, but honestly, I'm not big on exotic pairs. The spread is quite steep as well.
The spread is killing. Yeah.
Yeah, the spread is quite big, so I avoid it. Yeah, I avoid it, right? So I think if there's anything to note from these pairs is correlation, right? Correlation is important. If you are looking at the pair GBP USD, and let's say you are buying GBP USD, what should you be doing with Euro USD?
Certainly buying as well.
Certainly buying, right? And I think we still just don't get it because I still see traders opening, multiple trades at the same time, buying Euro USD, selling GBP USD. It's not going to work out. You're not going to enjoy, consistent profits by doing so. Always remember, that correlation, right? Always remember the correlation. And then also what we do, or what I do personally, the first thing I do is I look at the dollar index, okay, which is
Yeah.
your DXY. Look at the dollar index, DXY. What I'm trying to establish there is the structure. I'm trying to establish its strength. Where is it going? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Why would I do that? Because that's one of the first things that I do when I do my technical analysis. Why would I do that? DXY. Why do we look at the DXY? The dollar index. So the dollar index, of course, is just the dollar's performance alone, not paired up with any other currency pair. And you can do so with other currencies as well. You can look at the individual performance not paired against any other currency. Is that something that we are doing?
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
do occasionally look
Yeah.
at the dollar
DXY.
DXY. Yeah.
And
I
why do you look at the dollar index?
For me personally, I think it's because it is inversely correlated with GBP USD.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that's why I always look at it every time before I even.
And yeah, and of course, not just only inversely correlated to GBP, but Euro USD. Sorry, but of course the Euro, the
Yes,
Australian
because I
dollar
trade mainly GPUSD, so that's why I look at
is
it. Yeah, that's
mhm,
all.
right. So if the dollar is going up, your pound is going down, Euro is going down, Aussie AUD is going down.
Yeah.
What else would be going down?
Gold sometimes, mostly.
Gold. I like that
Mm.
you say sometimes. Why?
Yeah, it's that sometimes was needed. Good,
Sometimes.
good has been very stubborn of recent.
Why is that? Why sometimes? Hmm, it should be most of the time, I
Even though
guess.
I don't trade it, yeah, she's right. It's sometimes I
Yeah.
do just view
And
it
it's a
as
good observation, right? Because
yeah,
um traditionally, yes, we say the dollar and gold are inversely correlated. Yes. Now, if you look at any chart of and we really zoom out of it, we're definitely going to see that correlation, right? That inverse correlation. But there are times in the market where gold and the dollar may move in tandem, may move in the same direction, in other words, right? So, but yeah, but most of the time it's inversely correlated, right? They move in opposite directions. Um, what else would move in opposite direction as gold? Would the JPY move in opposite direction as gold? I mean, sorry, as the dollar.
you know
Hmm?
in USD JPY.
I mean, just if we were to look at just the performance, of course, if we pair them up as say USD JPY, one would definitely have to take direction, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yes.
but generally speaking, the dollar and the yen, do they move in the same direction or not?
I've not really compared it so that.
Mhm. Okay, so remember we've got safe haven currencies. The dollar is one of them. Who
Yeah.
else is a safe haven currency?
CHF,
CHF and who? Lastly,
JPY.
JPY. So we're talking about the Swiss franc, CHF, the dollar, DXY, and
Japanese
JP.
yen.
What did I say? JPY, right?
Yeah.
So those are safe haven currencies. Now, sometimes when you try under global economic uncertainty, if you pay up the dollar with these ones, they might go sideways because a lot of money is being poured into those currencies, and so they tend to, but they can move sideways instead of seeing a clear structure to the upside or downside. It might go sideways. So USD CHF might go sideways. USD JPY might go sideways, right? CHF JPY might go sideways. This is only if we have some significant economic uncertainty, right? That might be brought about by some sort of, let's say, geopolitical event such as a war, etc. Right? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, remember, I said you can look at all these currencies individually as well. So, for example, so we know that's the dollar index, JXY, is still Japanese, right? Dollar on its own. CXY. PXY would be your British pound. JXY, Japanese yen, CXY, Canadian dollar, PXY. I think we have AXY could be the Australian dollar to stand corrected, right? so it goes. So I do like looking at these currencies, just this general strength on them as well. Right now, where am I? Okay, so currencies. Are there any clarity-seeking questions? Can I move on these ones? All good? Okay.
It's good. Yeah.
Right. Of course, let's make sure that you understand your base and what do they call it? Base and counter currency or code currency. What's the currency to the left? What do we call that one? Where's my pen? Okay, there we go. Currency to the left, what do we call it?
That's the base currency.
Let me change the color. It's your base. And then the one to the right?
The quotes currency.
We've got base, always to the left. And then you've got your quote. Okay, so if this movement is going like this, USD JPY, who's gaining strength over the other?
USD is gaining strength over JPY.
Okay, so that's okay. I wanted to make sure that we understand that one. Exactly what you're selling and what you're buying, right? So when you're clicking on sell, you're actually selling that guy, you're technically also buying on the other end, right? Okay, then I think in terms of setting up your templates, does anybody struggle navigating that? Setting up your templates, changing your the outlook of your charts? Is there anybody struggling with that?
I don't know, maybe it's because I'm trading on the iPad. I seem to be struggling to put in what is the one that helps with retracement? What's that indicator again?
Fibonacci retracement.
Yeah. So I don't know,
Mhm.
is something I have to maybe use a laptop? I'm struggling on my iPad too.
No, you can still use
I still can.
iPad, but it should. I think it should still be able to plot it the same, right? So once you click on the actual Fibonacci indicator here, the first thing that you see is that, as you can see, it's just changed. It's just waiting for you to plot it, right? And you can then make adjustments. I'm not sure if it's any different on an iPad, because sometimes I use my Samsung tablet, and it works just as fine, right? I'm not sure.
Okay.
What's the chart? Is it not popping up at all on your end, or it doesn't get you're unable to plot it on your screen?
I struggled to even find it on MetaTrader 5. So because I'm using MetaTrader 5.
Okay, we'll
So
try
can
and
you
fiddle.
wait
We'll
before I
fiddle.
wait it
Remind me.
again? Maybe I should get that again.
It's usually either you're gonna find it as one of those things up here, or you can simply go to insert. Definitely, when you go to insert, click on
Yeah.
indicators, you're going to find it under custom. Fibonacci is Fibonacci. Am I right? Is it under custom? Let's see. No, I don't think you're gonna find it under. Let's see. Where are we gonna find it? Hmm. Where would you find this thing? In fact, it's not there. Definitely not there.
Go to objects, insert objects.
Should I go to objects? You say insert.
Oh, you don't have, and it's already there on your own as Fibonacci. I think you're using MT4, right?
I'm on
It's already there.
MT4
It's already there on your
objects.
own as Fibonacci. When you click on that app, insert. No, on insert already.
Insert.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
there we
already
go.
there.
Just when you click on insert, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, but I think
Didn't need
on
to go
because
to.
I'm using my own MacBook right now, and when I check the MT5, it's right
Yeah.
on that insert. Insert, you see objects. Then you go to objects, you see Fibonacci there.
Objects.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes, so maybe you could try
Okay.
that on your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for the help. Thanks for the help, right?
Mm.
So there's Fibonacci for you. We are yet to talk about Fibonacci, of course. So we're okay, I guess, with setting up your templates and how to save them. There are no questions with that regard. Profiles. Do you have profiles set up? This is something that you use. For example, if I click on my yen pairs, if hopefully it's not scrambled, all my yen pairs will pop up, right? So I've got things in different compartments. If I'm trading the yen, I know where to find my yen pairs. If it's the pound, I know where to find my pound pairs. Yeah, this one is scrambled. Let's see indices. I think they're all messed up. Could be. Yeah, they're all just doing its own thing. But what I do is under indices, for example, let's do this. Close, close, close. Let's do this. It'll be easier, I think. What do I have here? Okay, let's do it this way. Dex. Okay, I'll leave Dex there. Nasdaq indices, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, Dow. What am I missing here? What would I trade as well under indices? Yeah, I think this is okay. I'll keep these three here. Why are they not showing? Okay, let me get them in. Let's do this. Indices. Nasdaq, okay. Let's get in those. Let's get in the last one. CGM index. Let's go for these three. Okay, and remember we spoke about correlation. When we trade indices or stocks, they tend to generally move in the same direction. So let's say that's the 4 hours on GEM index, 4 hours on the Dow Jones. Okay, 4 hours on my Nasdaq. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay, just move that one. So they tend to move, or they are positively correlated. So when I'm trading stocks, they tend to move in the same direction. So I want to see everything on one profile. Does that make sense? So this would be my profile. Save profile. Let's do this because I've got indices already. So I would save it as indices. Save. Replace it. Right. And then for my yen pairs, USD JPY, Euro JPY, CAD JPY, AUD JPY, GBP JPY, CHF JPY. I don't think I've missed any. I'll have a profile for that. You follow? So that is the whole
Got it.
purpose for me so that when different things open up, yes, earlier that's what I had, but it's my organized mess. In most cases, I understand it, but it's best to cancel the noise. It's if you have multiple things open, you've got your mixed up here. It creates a lot of mental noise in your head, basically, right? It's like walking into a casino with all those machines going off. You just don't know where to place your bet, if I can put it that way, right? So saving these um, in profiles, it just makes it much neater. If you're trading indices, you just click on indices, all your indices pop up. If it's pound, you've got all your pound pairs, they pop up. Does that make sense? Any question?
Yeah, thank you. What's the difference in profile and setting profiles and templates?
Okay. So your template is the graphics user interface, what it looks like, the actual chart itself. That is your template. For example, I've got this white background with red and blue candlesticks. It's got a grid. And then I can easily switch from that and say, that's too much. I want it to be black, right? It's nighttime. I can have it like that, as you can see. Let's say black. So these are my templates that I've set. So I've got different ways that I want it to look. So this is my black template, right? The chart is still the same. It's just, it looks, right? I'm still on NASDAQ. It's just that it looks different now. So I can have a black background, a white background, whatever, makes you happy in terms of the look of your charts. Some will have their candlesticks black and white, as long as you understand what your white candlesticks would mean. Is it bulls, is it bears, and vice versa with the other one, right? So those are your templates. And then your profiles is what changes what you're actually looking at here in terms of those assets. What are you trading? So here currently, I'm under the indices profile. If I switch, let's say dollar pairs, everything dollar should pop up here. But I said earlier, it's all scrambled up. I think I need to redo it. Let's see. And it shouldn't take this long anyway. It should be much quicker. So for my dollar pairs, I'll only just see dollar pairs. As you can see, this one is mixed up. So I'm supposed to only see Euro USD, GBP USD, NZD USD, AUD USD, USD USD CHF. These ones here, they're not supposed to be here. It's just supposed to look like this, right? These are just the dollar pairs. Under profiles. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Righty. Let's see. Now we all understand what spread is. We're okay with that.
No, can you explain that level again?
Okay. Spread, simply put, is the difference between the bid and ask price. It is basically the transaction fee that your broker will charge you, right? So for your major pairs, the spread tends to be relatively tight. It's quite competitive across most brokers, okay, which is usually what, 2 pips, sometimes 1 pip, right? 1 2, let's say 1 to 4 pips, right? So as you can see here, we've got 86 2 94. What would be the difference there? It's close to, am I reading it right? Let's say 9 pips. Right? Let's look at Euro USD. See 13, 15, the difference,
That's
2
true.
pips.
Yeah, that's 2 pips.
Okay. That's the beauty of commodity pairs. Right?
It's like 0 pips.
0, right? 2 pips.
Yeah, that's 2 pips.
24 to 38, quite a steep one there.
That's 14.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that is, so when you see that difference, you know that's what you're basically going to pay towards the broker for opening that position. But it's just pips, right? You give the pips value. And how do you give pips value? How do you give pips value?
No idea.
Is that what you made it now?
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, you give pips value. No idea.
How do you give your pips value? Because pips are just pips, right? I can charge you 9, 7 pips, whatever. But how
I
do
think
we
it's
actually
based on
give
your
them?
lot size, actually.
Yes, your lot size,
Yeah, that's sense.
right? The lot size that you use will determine the value of those pips. So you and I can be trading the same currency pair, being charged the same amount of pips in terms of spread. We have the same account type, same capital, but if we use different lot sizes, we're going to pay a different amount for spread.
But hang
Does
on,
that make sense?
hang on, Level.
Mm-hmm.
Are we not controlled by the size of the capital? I mean, obviously your lot size, is it not controlled by how much money you have? Because if you put in sometimes when I trade the indices, they sometimes say I don't have enough money for that kind of a lot size.
100%. But remember, it goes full circle now. We're saying if your broker says it's 10 pips that I'm charging you, then I say you give those pips value. If you're trying to execute the trade, let's say using 0.10 lot, your broker might say, hang on, you don't have enough margin to open that position. But once you switch from 0.10, let's say you say, okay, fine, 0.01. You're still being charged 10 pips. It's just that you change the lot size. So your capital now allows you, the margin that you have allows you to open that position. Your broker allows you to open that position. Is that making any sense, ladies and gents?
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying if we are being charged 10 pips, we have the same account types, same capital. You go with 0.01, I'll go with 0.0, let's say 5. Are we paying the same fee to the broker?
Certainly not.
Okay, certainly not, right? Somebody out there sitting with $1 million account being charged 10 pips, but his 10 pips are definitely not 10 cents, right? Because of the lot size they're using. I think we need to just go over lot sizes quickly. Make sure that we understand. Sizes. let's keep it simple. 0.01. What would that be in dollar terms? Let's say, let's say dollar terms. What would that be? Let me not choose it. Let me say, what would that equal to in dollars? Let's keep it as basic as possible. Let's say we're talking 1 pip here now, okay? We want to understand the value of 1 pip using 0.01.
I think that should be $0.1.
10 cents.
Yeah, that's 10 cents.
0.02.
That's 20 cents.
What am I doing?
0.2.
Okay, you get the point, right?
Yeah.
20 cents. All the way up to, let's say, 0.09. Let me just get
90 cents.
that's 90 cents. Bear with me. This one, the whole thing just decided to do its thing. Use this mouse. Come on, work with me. Try this again. Okay, my brand new mouse doesn't want to work. Okay, let me use the touchpad then. I want it to work. Okay, let me just open another thing here then, so we can get on with it. So we said that would be 90 cents. Fine. And then if we then say, let me just do this. 0.10.
Probably $1.
That's exactly $1. That's exactly $1. Okay. 0.11.
$1.10.
10 cents. Thank you. I did say we are going to do the basics of the basics. Make sure that we are all on the same page. So you get it.
No,
So
10
we can get
cents, not
to
11. 10
19.
cents.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. 10 cents. Yeah. 0.19.
$1.90.
90 cents, right? Let's switch it up a bit. Let's say 0.25.
That'll be $2.50.
$2.50, right? Per pip. We're on the same page.
Yep.
So if my broker is saying, listen, we'll charge you 10 pips, and I'm using 0.25, every single pip is $2.50. That is what the broker takes, right?
Yeah.
To execute the trade on my behalf. He doesn't say, go trade and then we'll come and talk later, man. You know, we homeboys, we'll balance the books later. No, takes his money first.
You
Because he
open the
knows,
trade, the money is gone.
right? Knows you're likely going to lose.
Whether you end the profit or loss. Yeah, like
Okay, but
vampires.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my question, Lebu, is when you choose a broker, Where do you get that information
Where
of what
do you
their
get this info?
spread? Where do you
It's
look?
right on their website. They'll give you the types, or on every single website, they'll give you exactly what they offer, the types of spread, how fast their execution is, etc. It's literally on those home pages. They'll even show you the types of accounts that they have and the pros and cons of those.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So they'll say, listen, we've got spread starting from 0 to 0, as you've seen with one of those, I think was GBP They'll say no spread on some, right? And spread 0. No more than, let's say, 0.04. They tend to break it down, honestly, on every single broker's website. They've got that information. So you can make an informed decision on, is this what I want? Right? Is this the type of account that I want? It's got this type of spread. Some will say no spread, only commission. That can be calculated completely differently. It depends on the size of the position that you open, right? Some it's a combination of both. It's spread and commission. Some has no commission. A lot of traders like to go for these standard accounts, no commission, just purely spread. It's
And
easy to
swap as well.
understand. They know what they.
And
Is that the
swap
one that
as
you
well
have?
because I said and swap as well for
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
for that trade overnight. What do you call them
Beg your
again?
pardon?
I said and swap as well. They used to add the
Oh,
swap for like
yes.
people that hold
Yes.
positions overnight. Yep.
100% in swap, right? And the swap is important. You need to understand that is basically swap. What it is it's it's interest earned or interest payable, right? So there are positions that overnight you may incur a interest, and another swap that that is payable to the broker, right? So if it says negative, you're paying the broker that for holding that position for you overnight. There are some positions that the broker will pay you interest for holding overnight.
That's what I
Okay?
love best.
Yes. You just need to know exactly what trades to hold. And I think I
Exactly.
should talk about carry trades today.
Yeah.
I think I should talk about carry trades today, actually. Right? I think I'll
I-
end off with carry trades
Hi,
so that we
Lebo.
can. Yes, yes.
Yes, on these brokers, I see you are using, is it Pepperstone? It's written super thin.
I use multiple, but this one is Super Forex. I use Super Forex. I use Xness. I use Pepperstone. I use XM. I use Swiss Code. That is my largest account. Swiss Code. It's basically a bank in Geneva. I get to hide my money there. I didn't tell you that. And um,
Actually, you told us. It's
who
recorded.
else do I use? IC Markets. You didn't hear it from me. Yeah, they've got a lot of on it. They've got a lot of services on a need to know basis. So literally, your money is just parked there, and they give me a prepaid credit card which I can just load with money, and so I'm below the radar. So my money doesn't actually go into a South African bank account,
Wow,
so I
that's nice.
don't get to pay tax. But that's one of the reasons why we are in a little bit of a fight with the tax collector, basically, right? It's been going on for years, but it's a question. We're stuck. It's a stalemate. The case that we have with them.
Yeah, I understand.
They're saying, show us where you hit the money. I say, find the money first. If you think there's money hidden, find it first, then come back to me. So we've been going back and forth, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the unfortunate part is they've got my vehicles, they've got frozen some of the things that I own. And that's exactly now 8 years now. 8 years. 20s. 2017 August, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 7 years, right?
7 years.
Um, that's yeah, but a topic for another day. But that's what I like about some of these brokers. But the minimum deposit on that one is $1,000. That's the minimum, if I remember well, $1,000, and then you're good to go. You're good to trade with them. The service is exceptional. It's, of course, I mean, the capital required is a little steep, but there's a lot of services, like I said, on a need to know basis. When you look at the website, it seems all right, source code. But once you start talking to um, your account manager, you get to realize there's a whole lot more offers in the background, which they don't really talk about unless you ask, right? So, yeah. And of course, when it comes to brokers, we've got A book brokers and B book brokers, and some are A and B book, right? So A book is basically tends to be what we call your ECN accounts. This is a broker that is going to execute indeed those trades on your behalf directly to the market, and they purely earn out of spread swap from you, right? Maybe commission. It's just transaction fees. That's how they get to earn, right? That's how they make their money. And then B book, they're basically trading against you. Your losses are their gains, and of course, your gains are their losses.
What?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these actually prop
That's
firms
why
are
when
calling.
when people were criticizing prop firms, I was like, come on, a lot of these brokers are prop firms in disguise.
Yeah,
They just put all the fun that they are brokers. They are prop firms. They are just
exactly.
big bull brokers.
Exactly. You're spot on. Right. So now, of course, it wasn't like this back then, right? It they saw the gap, they saw the opportunity, these brokers, because number one, there wasn't a lot of brokers. And over time, as retail forex trading became popular, I mean, a broker was realizing that, hey, listen, when they do their books, they're making, let's say, in terms of deposits, let's say $10 million deposits in a month, 10 million worth of deposit, right? And they say, okay, how much did we make out of these deposits? Let's say they made 20% of 10 million. That would be what?
$1 million.
$2 million, right?
Yeah.
The entire 8 million, it's lost to the market. Why do I say that? Because 90% of retail traders lose 90% of their capital within 90 days. And so they're looking at this and saying, oh, shucks. So we had $10 million in our account. We've made 2 million in profit. The 8 million was technically lost to the market.
Yeah.
So they started being clever and they said, okay, you know what? Because we can see we've done all the stats. These guys are losing most of the time. So we're gonna do this. We know that on average we make 10 million worth of deposits. 1 million of this will actually go to the market, right? The rest of this money, this 9 million here, is not leaving this account. Let the traders think that, we're executing those trades. Whoever gets to win or is profitable and withdraws, it comes directly from that account anyway. It's hitting the bottom line. It's okay. But we're banking on most of those traders actually losing their money, losing and blowing their accounts. It works out perfectly well for us as a broker because, well, hey, that money didn't leave. It's sitting in our account. So now we can go do whatever we want with that money. Pure profit. Okay.
But when they meet someone like you who trades and you make like $1 million profits, they
then they
start looking for
then
excuses not to pay you.
they're in trouble, right? Uh, we have taken two to court. Alenti Capital. No, I lie. It was Alenti Capital. They got liquidated. The other one, we didn't take them to court, but at that time, actually, our office was. We were housed in. We had an office inside that broker.
Yeah,
It was one of the biggest in the entire southern continent at the time. It was ACM Gold, right? It was big, and then it took one trader to collapse the whole broker. They
wow.
just didn't have the money to pay him. He said, "Oh, well, you don't have money to pay me. Okay, well, I have to sell your assets." And literally, that was the demise, the end of ACM Gold. And out of actually the collapse of ACM Gold was born two brokers, JP Markets by Justin Paulson and
Yeah,
Globe X360 by a lady called Nombuso. So they used to work for ACM Gold. I used to interact with them quite a lot then. Um, yeah, right. So now, when you have a case where Lebu's a fantastic trader, and he's basically he's too good. We miscalculated. We thought he's a B book trader, supposed to be B book, but we actually
yeah.
no, we with yeah, right. We B booked him, but he's actually an A book. This is a
Yeah.
fantastic trader. Now he's really killing the bottom line, and this is where the shenanigans start. Right? This is where they start to play games with your account sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And we have basically agreed to those terms and conditions because nobody really reads the fine
Without
print,
reading them.
right? And what it says on those terms and conditions is that, and it's pretty much with all the brokers, they can adjust your stop loss. Okay. They can adjust
Yeah.
your pending orders. They can delete your stop losses. They can delete your pending
Oh,
orders. They can do
what?
all. Yes.
Yeah, they're all there. But we don't, we just go register, agree with that.
Yeah, you're just quick. I want this account, man. I want to fund now.
What is
Right?
that?
And then you wonder, I've seen it countless times. I had a big fight with XM back in 2017. I told them, you listen, because they actually didn't want to pay me. Besides the games that they play, they didn't want to pay me having grown an account to a certain size. They said, I'm the one who's doing funny things. My trading is suspicious. It's, all that stuff. Not really giving me a solid answer. And
That
they
is your
said,
regular answer. Suspicious, always suspicious.
Yes,
yeah,
same here. Most of
right.
it.
So you can imagine, I mean, I started having health palpitations because, well, I was banking on that money. I had already plans for that money. And now you're
Yeah,
telling me after trading this account to this size, you're only going to give me my deposit back and I
you.
must pay my way. Right. So, yes, as we had a big fight, but then you can't, what are you going to do? You take them to court? You sign the terms and conditions, they're there. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they
You.
always they always cover their behind. So I didn't use them for years up until I got convinced. I think it was year before last year. Somebody was nagging and nagging and nagging. It was the new um regional manager or whatever, right? And we ironed it out, gave me some capital, free capital, and then we took it from there. But that's what brokers are, right? And you want to make sure that okay, it's gonna be a little difficult for anybody in Nigeria because the regulatory body that side is not pulling up their socks. I
Yeah.
know it firsthand. and you've got a lot of brokers who are seeing, because you know what, you've got the population, you've got the numbers, and
Yeah.
that's easy money for
Yeah,
them. So yeah, everybody's coming up to set up shop in Nigeria. Forex trading in Nigeria is the second largest after us. Probably in 2 years you will surpass our market cap in South Africa, and you'll be the largest, you know, retail. You'll be the largest retail traders in Africa, and then we'll be second, and third will be Kenya, and everybody else. Right? That's how fast you've got the numbers. The population is there, but the regulation is
it's
lacking.
not that.
So this is where the games, start. Right? With us here, it's quite strict. It's getting stricter every year. So there's certain, you know, regulations that must be met. One of them being an ODP license that brokers must have if yeah, if they are operating in the space within this jurisdiction, right? So I like anyway going for brokers that are regulated within our jurisdiction and not just only some place, some island in Cyprus there, because well, I I I have no protection if something goes wrong, right? But if it's a broker that's here or has a physical office here, I know where to find them, right? So be it Hot
Definitely.
Forex, IG, we've got a lot of brokers. They're all in the richest square mile of Africa, which is Centin. So we know where to find them, right? And then there's one or two accounts which, well, they're not regulated here. Yeah, and it can be a little tricky if something goes wrong. But that's essentially what brokers are all about, right? And normally the question that follows is, how do I know if I'm A booked or B booked? You won't know in most cases, but I can make it easy for you. If you have any account with a leverage that is higher than 300, you're likely B booked,
Yeah.
right? Professional traders don't really use high leverage to that extent. They will go maximum 300. Okay. Um, Now I see Exness has got unlimited. I'm thinking, what the hell is
Unlimited leverage.
unlimited? What the hell is unlimited?
Unlimited. And some guys actually using it to flip accounts in Nigeria from $50 to like $6,000 and above.
Exactly.
Under 1
You
hour.
know, I say you go for it and use it to your best advantage for as long as you can, because that is the advantage or the beauty of leverage, right? Because literally you can move a $6 account to 600 or 6,000,
Yeah.
right? That is the beauty of leverage. It is one of the biggest reasons why trading is popular. It is the biggest reason why it makes sense to trade Forex, because I don't need big capital. I can literally fund my account with what I can afford, and the earning potential is exponential. I can literally flip. This is not even flipping. I don't even know what to call it. This is growing your account
Yeah.
to other levels. And this is,
Yeah.
and I use leverage. Leverage got me to where I am, right? But now make sure that you learn to withdraw. Don't be like me when I left that account with XM to grow out of hand and I was exposed, right? When it's time to withdraw, I realized I was only wealthy in paper. I didn't have my money in the bank. So learn to withdraw.
What is leverage?
Leverage. How would I explain leverage? How
The
can I
money your
explain
broker
leverage?
borrows
Okay,
to trade it.
there we go. It's the money basically that your broker, extends as a loan to you. They borrow you and say, okay, you can open a bigger position, your earnings will, your potential earnings will be exponential, right? So for example, if you don't use leverage, if you are risking, how can I put it? Yeah, if you're risking $1, or if you open a position worth of $1, that's it. It's a position with $1, right? But geez, some of these things that you've been, because some of these are so basic that you don't even know how to explain it. Okay, let's put it this way. So let's say with a leverage of 10, 1 for 10. That means with an account size of, let me write all this down for you so you can see it. The mouse will work this time. Yeah, there we go. Let's say we've got a leverage of 1 for 10. Let's say your capital is $100. With $100, that means you can open a position for how much? 10 times this. 10 times 100 is $1,000. So they're saying with just $100, with this, we will give you, you're able to open positions with $1,000. If your leverage is 1 to 100, 100 times 100 is 10,000. Eh?
Yeah, 10,000.
Now you can open positions with $10,000. That's the beauty. You see the earning potential here with just a small account. Hence, we're saying you can move $100 to that, to 1,000. You can, I think you get the point, right? But now, I mean, already this is quite substantial, but we over the years, I've seen it go to 2, 3, and then 5. It stayed at 500 for a while, 1 to 500, right? And this was like, okay, this is like big, right? Because, I mean, 500 times 100, you get the point. You can open a position with $50,000 with just $100. But now it's gone crazy. I've seen 1,000 and I thought there was a lot. I've seen 2,000. Now it's unlimited. I don't know how they got there, but this is what I saw in Excellence. It's unlimited, right? So that is leverage.
Super big book.
It's really, yeah, go ahead.
That's a super big book. It's no longer big book.
So, of course, we are going to use leverage. It makes sense. We are in Africa. We're not in most of us are in Africa anyway. So we're not gonna, and we're not gonna, we don't have, rather, let me put it this way, the demographics. I mean, people don't really have money, right? And so if you can put together a $10 account or a $5 account with such crazy leverages, you're gone. Your life can change, literally. But if you didn't have leverage, you would be going nowhere slowly, simply put. And so all over the world, it's not even just Africa, but all over the world, who doesn't want leverage? It just makes sense. All right.
So now the question is, where do you check that leverage? Yeah.
Leverage is one of the things that you set up when you open an account with your broker. They will give you that option. What leverage do you want? Right? And then also, you are able, with most anyway, as far as I know, when you have set up an account with them, you can go back to that website, log in, go to your account, and you can actually make changes. You can change the leverage, right? You can bring it down or up. Once it's chosen, that's what it is. It's chosen. But with IC markets, I know I can go and change it. Xness, I know I can change it. Who else? There's a couple of brokers. I just simply log in, go to the account, view all the different types of accounts, choose the one that I want, change, the leverage, higher or lower.
Okay.
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 Now,
Helps.
also,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Now I'm saying this helps. One needs to go in and check because, when you are new and you don't understand these things, you don't always pay attention. But now that,
Yes.
yeah, I know, I'm gonna check what, like, with a broker that I have, what is the leverage that I have.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Now, also with brokers, right? You'll see the brokers that they've got different accounts. Let's start there. The accounts that require a substantially higher capital deposit, those tend to be a book as well. And you will notice that slippage is much less. What is slippage? Slippage is the execution time, right?
Mm.
And slippage is important if you are more of a scalper, right? We're talking about traders that like to, engage in short-term trades. They tend to open a lot of positions in a day, close, open, close, right? Scalping. As the word describes it, scalping, you're just chipping away, chip, 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 in, out, in, out, in, out, right? And so execution time is important because it will give you the price that you're looking for. So slippage is execution time. As you can see, this is where price is, right? I want to be entered. Let's say I want to sell USD CAD. Expect to see what I expect to be placed there when I click on sell. But with other standard accounts, slippage, when you click sell, instead of being placed there,
Yeah.
get placed there. Now, that's a big difference if you're a scalper, because maybe that's where you wanted to initially actually step out. You wanted to be in here and be out here. Now, what do you do now? See? And slippage becomes more obvious when we have volatility in the market, when we have high impact news. That's where slippage becomes a problem. You don't get the price that you want. Those who are ECN accounts, the VIPs, right? They get placed first. So it's a queue. Imagine, think about it this way. It's like you're at a bank. There's private wealth, right? There's the checking account holders, savings account holders. The private wealth guy, when he steps in, doesn't stand in the queue, doesn't stand in the line. They're expecting him already anyway. He's got a banker. They just say, welcome, walk this way, say, right? Then he goes into that glass office. Coffee or tea? Whiskey, perhaps? Doesn't matter what time it is. It's got the right? So it goes about doing, then everybody in the line is like, oh, well, we've been standing here for so long. Where does this guy just No, you're not the VIP, you're not private wealth. You just have a mere savings account, right? So private wealth will be served first, checking accounts, and then savings. You follow. So the same with trading accounts. There are those where the big boys, we've got those big, capital ECN accounts, and then follows everybody else. So when they execute, their slippage is very minimal. They'll get the best price, right? First, and then everybody else is put in. I'm sure you've seen sometimes, especially when we've got high impact data and the market is moving like this. Just like it was, I think this was Friday last week, right? You're trying to catch this move. You saw it start. You wanted to be in, but you only managed to get in here. You've missed out on quite a bit. That's sometimes it wasn't allowing you to enter. He kept on saying off codes. will say off codes, right? It's just won't allow you to execute. It's just bang,
Yeah, and
bang,
even
bang.
sometimes if you put a buy stop or a sell stop, they push it down.
Yes, you've got your buy stop already in place, then it gets adjusted sometimes, or sometimes it doesn't. The market will go there and doesn't
Yeah,
even activate it, just goes past it like nothing. No activation. So these are the things that happen, but we work around them. But just get into the habit of withdrawing and having multiple accounts. You don't want to build your wealth off a single broker, and then when it's time to withdraw, sorry, the money is not coming through, or the broker decides to go under, goes
Yeah.
under with your money, right?
Yeah.
So I withdraw, and then I go open another account. So I spread it out because I also try and avoid having money, too much money in a year in my South African bank account because of the tax implications, right? I've structured it in a way that it goes into my business account anyway. Then I get pay. Well, I pay about just under 30%. I think it's 27%. If that money was to be going into my personal account, that'd be let's say 40%. Yeah, it would be about
that's massive.
40%. Right? So imagine, you just deposit 100,000 and somebody who you don't even know, someone
It's your
tells you
government.
40,000.
It's your government.
I don't have a problem
Wow.
I don't
That
have
means we're seriously
a problem
enjoying
with tech.
Nigeria.
It's
That
your
means we're enjoying it in
government.
Nigeria.
They're just enjoying it.
Lebo,
Those blue lights.
Lebo,
Those
I
politicians.
saw Refuen is promoting EQ markets. Are you the owners, guys?
Yeah. AQ Markets definitely is the latest broker that we are pushing. I'm not big on affiliations or what's the term that I'm looking for? Yeah, I tend to shy away from them because of reputational risk. That's my main concern. But it's somebody that I know, or it's people that I know, and so I'm feeling a little more confident in backing it up. These are guys who we have a professional history with in the industry. They've been around for years. So I don't mind pushing IQ markets because I know the characters behind it. But in most cases, honestly, I just it makes me uncomfortable because we've had a couple, and when these things go south, everybody's saying, "But hey, that broker's under, man. You said we must go there. Now where's the money now?" I'm like, okay, man, my money is also gone. No, it can't be. You're lying. You were making money off us.
It's
You
a
start to get the,
scam. It's a
yeah, then you
scam.
start to get the death threats. Hey, man, when I see you, it's not going to be nice, eh? And then, and that's why once in a while you have to see us walking with, guys behind us. Going to center. We have to bring our brothers, to come and protect us. So it can be crazy in this industry, but honestly, yeah, it's not something that I like pushing, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm quite
The,
behind IQ Markets, if I can say so. Yeah.
the only thing that's really sad, Lebo, is that the cloning, how they clone you guys and other
Ah,
successful traders. It's actually very
yeah.
scary, you know. That
That's
is the
that's
part.
what makes, and those are the things that make us, well, that expose us to even greater risk,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Somebody out there doesn't do their due diligence, parts with a couple of thousands, it could be their life savings, and then they see me just, driving about with my family, and next minute maybe I'm taken out, right?
Yeah.
That's just literally, I could be here today, gone tomorrow, just like that. Somebody thinking that I scammed them, but actually they got scammed by somebody impersonating
Yeah.
me or the brand. And
So,
the beauty about it, I'm not known to many. My
mm,
face is not all over the place, right? And I like to keep it that way. It's only you guys who might see my face, but I'm not somebody, I've been getting a lot of requests from a lot of the guys saying, you need to move with the times, you need to move with the times, you need to be on YouTube, you need to have a TikTok. That's not me. If this
mm.
means this is the end of this dinosaur, then let it be, because then I can just focus on my chats. I don't want to go there.
I think that's the best
Truth, honestly,
label
I
because
don't want
South
to.
Africa, I think we had some issues where some forex
Yeah.
traders were just shoot dead,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, I think one was shot this year as well. Last year before, we had another guy. Um, yeah, it can be crazy. Lisiba, one of the young guys that I know as well. I mean, he got ref has been kidnapped before back in 2014.
Yeah.
We had to look for this guy for like 24 hours. Landed up in some informal settlement. Lisiba, the same thing. So Lisiba doesn't even play around anymore. Ref, yeah, he'll take those chances. Doesn't really use security that much anymore. But Lisiba, after that, I think it just traumatized him. He has minimum two guys with him always. He doesn't play those games. And then there comes Lebu. Lebu always strolls around, passes everybody. Nobody knows me. That's the beauty of not being online. Right? The brand speaks for itself. I've grown the brand. I'm the co-founder of African Forex Institute, Forex MG, but nobody knows the face, right? It's the brand. I mean, it's like it's like the owners of Coca-Cola or any other big brand. Most of the time, we don't know their faces, with the exception of the owner of Tesla. We know he's South African. Elon Musk is always quite these outspoken about them, right? Yeah, but yeah, a topic for another day. Topic for another day. But I think you get the gist of this. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, so okay, because time is moving, I want us to talk about a current carry trading. Carry trading. Does anybody know what carry trading is? Carry trading.
What is the
I
spelling
want
for
to show
carry
you.
trading?
CARRY.
Oh, carry.
Yes,
Me, I don't know. I don't
carry
know.
trading. Okay. So now, here we go. Let me show you. So we've got USD JPY here. Let's put it on a weekly chart here. I absolutely hate doing analysis on MetaTrader. Let me see if my what you call this, if TradingView has decided to work, because it decided to stop working just this afternoon again, and I don't know what could be the cause behind that. I've tried everything. I've cleared my memory, cache memory. It still doesn't work. Because I want to really show you something here. Okay, while it's still opening, let me continue on MetaTrader. So, okay, so here we've got, let's do them. How do I get this chart to move? That's the thing with MetaTrader. It's just not doing anything. That's the annoying thing. April
I
2023
think
is
we
still
don't
the
have
same.
data
I'm still
beyond
seeing the
that April
same
1st.
thing. I don't have what?
I think the broker is not publishing the data before April 1st, 2023. I think that's
You
why.
reckon?
Okay.
Oh, that's that's not nice.
Maybe that's why it's
Okay.
not moving beyond that point.
That's a bummer. All right, okay. I'm just waiting on Trading View, but in the meantime, okay, USD JPY. Let's leave it there. Let's bring in CAD JPY. Let's bring in. I want us to bring in all these yen pairs. CHF JPY. Let's bring in. mm, Do we have Euro JPY? Euro JPY, let's bring that in. And I think we've got JPY. I'll delete it if we have it. Yeah, we already had it. Okay. AUD JPY. Let's bring that in. Who else are we missing here? GBP JPY. I think one more. I think that covers it, right? Just delete this extra JPY. I want to show you. Let's go to the weekly as well. And this one. Weekly on this one. Weekly on this one. Weekly. I think we can all agree that they are moving in the same direction. Let's try to put them side by side.
We still have NZD-JPY.
Or NZD-JPY, right? Okay, that's all right. That's all right. I guess it will also move in the same direction.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing. Okay, there's one there. I think space will be the issue. What do we have here? Okay, we've got a couple, but I think you get the point. I don't have to show them all. Right, they all move in the same direction. When was this? As you can see, they all took a dip around about the same time. Same time. And what is that time? Let's see. Why have they been selling? This is July, August. Yeah, July. Okay. Carry trading. Let's get into it. What is carry trading? So, remember yesterday I made mention of interest rates and inflation, and I spoke about them briefly, but didn't want to confuse you too much. Let's try and talk about interest rates at a surface level for now, right? Interest rates, normally when we speak about interest rates, we're broadly speaking about interest rates, the central bank, okay? Interest that's set by central banks. Now, let's say we've got euro. Okay, let me leave euro. I'll talk about this one in particular because I know their interest rates, both of them. Let's talk about the dollar and the yen. Their interest rates set by their banks. USD, that interest rate is sitting at 5.5%. The yen, JPY, and that interest is sitting at 0. Just then corrected at 0.10. That's fine. 0.10. Now, if you are an investor and you see these as companies, where would you want to put your money?
USD.
USD. This is where you want to put your money. Because, well, the returns are much more attractive compared to EMEA 0.10. Not so long ago, out of the Bank of Japan, it was actually 8. So most definitely you wouldn't want to put your money here. You would want to put your money here. Okay, so this are arguably the easiest trades, especially against the yen, because the yen has had the lowest interest rates and probably still have the lowest interest rates against most major currencies. You follow? So
Yeah.
these are the easiest, well, have been. It's the game is changing. You've unfortunately came in at a time where the game is changing, but I will explain how it's changing and how to engage it. But we've been holding on to these pairs: USD JPY, CAD JPY, CHF JPY, NZD JPY, AUD JPY, GBP JPY. A lot of money was made with these pairs for the last 2 years, just buying and holding. In other words, selling the yen against all these major currencies. It has been the easiest trades any trader of any level could have gone into. Carry trading, right? You are taking advantage of the interest rate differential. You're taking advantage probably also of what we call monetary policy divergence. The two monetary policy implemented by these banks are totally different. One is saying we are cutting interest rates, the other one says we are hiking interest rates. Of course, you want to put your money where you can earn the most. So you would buy USD JPY, buy KJPY, buy, 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 buy. They're all moving like this. Interest for holding those positions. Okay, so you would go to Control M, USD JPY, for example, click there, go to specifications, scroll all the way down, swap long, swap short. See, I get paid for holding a long position, 3 points, shall we say 3 pips. If I hold a position overnight, sell, I get to pay commission to the broker. So yes, we've got a structure that is quite bearish, has been bearish for some time. Well, time is relative, yeah. Let's say a couple of weeks, okay? It's bearish. But if I hold on to those sells overnight, I'm paying the broker, right? And if I hold a buy position, even if it doesn't quite go into profit, I'm earning interest. Nevertheless, I'm being paid for that. So for the longest time, we've been buying USD JPY, CAD JPY, CHF JPY, all of these, and also earning an interest out of them. An opportunity, for example, USD JPY, some are saying this could be the bottom and it's going to rise. Hard to say. I don't believe in it because, well, we had CPI today, of course, which is inflation. We'll talk about it. It came out lower. So that means everybody's pricing in the possibility of the central bank, the Fed, cutting interest rates. And if more of us believe that, then the dollar weakens even further. Alrighty, so USD JPY, yes, the intraday structure is bearish. We've been selling, bears are in control, but if you're holding those positions overnight, you're incurring a negative swap because technically in the medium to long term, this is or has been a carry trade. Arguably still is a carry trade because of those interest rates. We're simply looking for fair value in the market, and maybe we then might push up. Any question? Have I lost you at this point?
Lost.
Serious?
We are following. We're following.
Yes, I wanted to know how to identify a currency or a pair of currency that is in this situation.
Okay. So what you can do, we are still going to go to these different websites, of course. I'm talking about the websites of the different, central banks. So we're going to visit the Federal Reserve website, RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia, so to understand their monetary policy and the current interest rates that they have. All these banks, ECB, European Central Bank, BOE, Bank of England, COJ, Central Bank of Japan, it goes on, right? But for now, it's easy to find them. So you go to Trading Economics. On the home page, it'll give you all the basics. Something like this on the home page. See that? United States, you get to see the GDP numbers, interest
Yeah,
rates,
we're only seeing
inflation,
your chart.
unemployment rate. Oh, is it not popping up? Okay, sorry, hold on. Let me switch. I forgot to switch screens. There we go. Are you seeing it now? Trading Economics.
Yeah,
That's the home page. So you just scroll down here.
Yes.
And you get to see the countries and the macroeconomic indicators. So you can see exactly what interest rate they have and you can compare them. So you can see 5.5 for the US. Look at Japan, that's gone up a little, 0.25. Okay. So there's a big divergence between these two. Over a longer period of time, I'll definitely want to hold on to that. So USD JPY buy against, right? USD JPY
Against
buy.
Japan, yes.
And I think somebody who's been lowering interest rates for quite a bit is the Swiss franc, the Swiss. Let's see where they're sitting, because they're one of the first to cut this year with interest rates. Swiss, where are you? Switzerland. They're sitting at 0.7.
Yeah.
Right? 0.7. Is this the column for? No, sorry, this one, the third one. Let's see. Switzerland, did I pass it? Switzerland, 1, 2, 3, 1.25. Still very low compared to, of course, the US one at 5.5. 1.25. They've cut a couple of times. They've brought it down. Right? So this is where you can view and say, oh, okay, this one has got a much wider difference, right? The US against the Japanese yen, the US against the Swiss franc, right? So now let me try and find that picture, that technical picture that would confirm a buy on the dollar against these countries with a much lower interest rate. You have to be able to draw that parallel or find that confluence, right? It needs to be quite clear, that structure or that buy opportunity. Is it any clearer now?
Yes, it's clear. So in this case of GBP and dollar, it's I think it's the same. So what can happen in this case?
In the case of GBP.
GBP and dollar. Yes.
All right. So GBP, we've got 5, right?
Yes.
And these guys, the pound, these guys haven't cut interest rates yet. Let me click on them. They haven't cut interest rates, if I remember well. The Bank of England lowered its bank. No, they did. its bank rate by 25 basis points to 5% in August. So they cut for the first time just once. Now, of course, in this instance, we don't have the widest divergence, right? We don't have the widest divergence. We know that the US is going to cut as well in a few days from now. I think 7 days to be exact, on the 18th. And that will likely bring them down to 5.25, maybe possibly also 5. So putting it pretty much on par with this. So that you start to see a lot of volatility, right? But the mere fact, I think, if there's any currency that really moves the market or any economy, is definitely the US. So that cut by the US will definitely bring about some sort of risk on sentiment into the market. What do I mean by risk on? Remember, I said we want to look at the dollar index as one of the first things that we do. Why do we look at the dollar index? We want to establish if we are risk on or risk off. That's the crux of everything. And when you look at your charts, you always want to know, are you risk on or risk off? Have you heard of that before? Risk on, risk off?
No.
Yeah, I heard about it when you organized that free masterclass with
Okay.
Market. Yeah, I joined one of the classes back then.
Yeah,
Well done.
but I also
Yeah.
don't understand.
Shaya, indeed. So risk on. Okay, let me find some space here. Where can I? Okay, let's do the homepage. Let's get to the homepage. Yeah, it's a little clearer. I can write here. Okay, when the dollar moves like this, we are dollar moves like this, risk
Risk
on.
on. Yeah.
In other words, when we say we are risk on, we are taking on risk. Okay, so we are selling the dollar because, of course, it's moving like this, risk on. When we sell the dollar, that means what are we buying? GBP,
GBP.
Euro, CAD, you name it. Right? Gold, we're buying. Okay. Nasdaq, Dow Jones. That's when we're risk on. That's when it is selling. When the dollar is giving us a sell, we know we are risk on. When it buys, we are risk off. We are selling all these and buying the dollar. Right? So now with interest rates being cut, when you cut interest rates, you devalue the currency. I'll explain it in more detail. Oh, shucks. Ladies and gents, tomorrow, got a scheduled power at 10 p.m. I'm hoping they're lying about it. I'll keep you posted. I saw this already early this morning. Somebody shared it with me. And normally when they share it, it's quite accurate. It's happened before. Last week it happened. I'm really hoping it doesn't happen, right? So that we can have our session. Well, if it happens, oh well, nothing we can do. It's beyond our control, right? So I want us, of course, to go deeper on this one. Risk on, risk off. Any question? Any questions so far? Like I said, when the central bank cuts interest rates, it devalues the value of the currency. So the currency goes like this. Okay. And that's when we definitely say we are risk on. So if we are risk on, then the pound will be buying it, right? And what I've noticed over time is definitely the pound enjoys much more attention than any other currency. That's what really sets the direction of the global markets. So getting that interest rate cut in September in a few days will definitely likely, rather, let's say definitely, but highly likely going to give us a risk on sentiment, right? So that means the dollar will sell, the pound will buy. But
Yeah.
price action will dictate where we're going. Yes, ma'am.
Can I hear again? So when we are risk on, what happens to the Nasdaq and the Dow?
Risk on, dollar sells, Nasdaq buys,
S&P also buys.
S&P as well.
I think in
Okay.
summary, there's an inverse relationship again.
100%.
There's an inverse
Okay.
relationship. They go
It's an
opposite.
exactly. They
Um,
go the opposite. But there
uh,
are times where we call it a mixed bag, where they can move in the same direction. There's nothing wrong with that. It does happen, but it's not often. But when it does happen, when we do have a mixed bag, simply walk away.
Yeah. Okay.
Walk
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Right? But definitely say these have an inverse correlation. When we see the dollar selling, the stock market goes up.
But then what are usually the reasons when it goes like GBP USD goes sideways? What does that mean?
When we have GBP USD going sideways and the dollar index selling, not often, honestly.
Not often.
If there's one that would go actually sideways, is your gold that can go sideways. But if
Yeah.
we definitely have a weak dollar, GBP USD is to the upside.
Okay.
The only time that would be range in GBP USD is maybe there is some high impact news maybe expected, and so investors or traders are not willing to really engage the market or give it a sense of direction, regardless that the dollar is weak. So you might find GBP USD going sideways for that reason, and Euro USD having a sense of direction. It happens, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Ladies and gents,
Yeah.
I think it's enough for today,
Yeah.
right? Let's let me not give it too much. How do we eat an elephant piece by piece? We are going to eat this elephant. We are not going to even leave bones behind. We are going to deal with it decisively. So thank you very much. I trust you had a fantastic session. If there are any comments or questions, feel free to send them through. I do love my love letters. I'm sure you do know by now. I get quite a lot. Let me know why the session was boring or it was great. Then we tweak it, right? Thank you very much, ladies and gents. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm crossing fingers. The session will be sent, the recording. Give me 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You should have it in your inboxes. Thank you. Shaya this, Shaya that. Good night. Good evening. Good morning.